Desiree Arroyo. I'm from Morris Plains, New Jersey. My disease, or my condition, is vasculitis and lupus. Well, it took me down into a wheelchair, so it wasn't, let's say it wasn't that, it was pretty horrible. It was a hard life. It was very hard. I went through chemo. I went through a lot of different trials and tribulations in that journey. It's been a journey of almost 4 years in total. Yeah, but I'd say 3.5 because, you know, obviously in 2018 it'll be 4 full years. Yeah, my worst was me being in a wheelchair. I could not walk my hands. I couldn't move my hands, which I couldn't cut my steak. My dad had to cut my food for me. I was completely debilitated, bedbound, housebound, no nothing. My doctors had called I was a therapist for New York State, and they had called my job and my career and basically ended it. So they had put me on disability at that point because I couldn't leave my house. I was introduced to her through a friend of mine, or my trainer, actually, my therapist, physical therapist. And he introduced, and he told me, Des, you know, you're not going to make it. Chemo's like, oh, this whole thing is killing you. At this point, I had just been diagnosed with liver disease, and I was going up for 4 surgeries. So this was in May. So I met Pooja as of March of this year, and since that journey, it's been transformative.
Where did you meet her?
He introduced me to her, so we did Skype. It's a great thing. Technology is fantastic. So it made, my German doctor made it possible without me going to Germany physically. And we Skyped, and we kept Skyping, and she followed me through every step of the way, and I thank God for her every day. And she wanted me to see Dr. Naram, and that's how I got here. Yes, for the first time I met him here in June, when he was here the first round. So I met him, which, by the way, was an amazing experience. Just truly amazing, amazing man. I have to say, I've never had the pleasure of meeting someone that just by touching his hands could be, you just feel such a presence and a calming energy. It's just amazing. But upon meeting him, he gave me a regimen to follow with the herbs and the mung bean soup, and I did that journey, and he added some herbs that Dr. Pooja, didn't, so they had coordinated efforts. And since that day, 6 months later, my life changed. I just got back from Disney. I was able to walk Disney, 5 parks. I did it. I felt like that was my Mount Everest. If I could walk Disney, I knew that was my my aha moment.
No wheelchair.
No, I walked Disney with 2 children, and with my best friend's 2 children. And well, aside from them being, kids, but I was happy just to be there and to actually walk. And I walked with no problems and no complaints. And it's been just such a journey. It really has. So just on a pain level, it's gone down so dramatically, where normally I would always be consistently at like a 5, 6 all the time, constant pain. And now, I'd probably say like a 2 or 3 max, Oh, wow. My worst, like I said, was the wheelchair. And it was, I was on pain patches, pain pills, pain patches, all together. I was on fentanyl. That's pretty serious stuff. On top of oxycodone. That's it. My pain level was extremely high. So that being the worst, I had a box full of medicines, a box, plus infusions every 4 weeks and chemo. It was just ridiculous. And now I take herbs and I live my life. So to get up from the wheelchair and even barely walk to there, that was my life. So it was very hard. It's a true test to strength. I will tell you that. I learned a lot about positivity. You have to remain positive in a mindset like that, because doctors don't know what to tell you, and they just pump you up with all this medicines and just stuff, and this is going to get you better. And I subscribed to it. I did. I really did, wholeheartedly. I just wanted to be better, and it wasn't working. And this worked. This worked. This changed my life. I could walk Disney. I couldn't walk 2 feet. I walked Disney, and that to me is the pinnacle. I appreciate everything, and I appreciate everyone that helped me along the journey, you know. So many wonderful people I've had the pleasure of meeting. Dr. Naram, Dr. Pooja, one of them, Dr. Giovanni is the other, you know, on the alternative side, but even my team of doctors, you know, they stood by me, but that's all that they knew. You know, they only know what they are taught. You know, they don't know this side of medicine. So I had to kind of graduate out of that mindset. And but I'm so appreciative for all the medical professionals that have helped me. You know, and now, I mean, you know, I'm here and I'm opening up a restaurant. So there's a lot of positivities, a lot of positive things that before, like you said, at my worst, I mean, I couldn't walk, let alone open up a restaurant. I couldn't even have a career or a job or nothing. It was pretty much my parents took care of me because that's all I could do, was either that or a nursing home. And, you know, I'm an only child. My parents weren't letting that happen. So, you know, I'm not the burden, you know what I mean, that I was going to be to my family. Now I can actually, hopefully, one day take care of them, you know, and pass it forward. So at my worst, I had no energy. My energy level was a 1. I mean, I would fall asleep just after 2 hours of being awake. It was terrible. My energy level was so down. It was so suppressed. And now I go from probably about, my day starts at probably about 8 o'clock in the morning and ends probably about 1 a.m. Try it. Let it speak for itself. Just meeting him. Just meeting him and being in his presence, you'll know right away. I mean, my doctors weren't just the best in New Jersey. Like, my doctors are the best in the world for my disease. You know, I went to Mass General Hospital. You know, I've been to Johns Hopkins. Like, they're the best in the world. Meeting Dr. Naram is a very different experience. Just meeting him and being in his presence, you know, something. He means well. You know, you just know it and you feel it. And I would just say to just try it. Let it do what it's meant to do, but fully try it and commit to it, even if it's just 3 months. Listen, in a company, it takes 90 days to get health insurance. Try it for 3 months. What do you have to lose? You know, you have all to gain. You have a life. I thank you, Dr. Naram, and Dr. Pooja, Dr. Giovanni. It's a blessing, and you gave me my life back. More than I could have dreamed. And I thank you so much for it. And come to the restaurant. It's on me. Thank you.